And we are about to go live.
Yeah, I should turn off my alerts real quick.
We are about to go live. There we are. We're live.
Sweet. Volume down.
Yep, volume down.
There we go.
All right, so we are live on YouTube. And
Yay.
Here we are.
All right.
And so we have with us tonight Dave Newman, owner, founder of RX Smart Gear, our title sponsor. It's always fun to catch up with Dave and find out what RX has new coming out. And I know they've been busy people the last few months. So we want to catch up with Dave. And if you jump on with us and you have some questions for Dave, go ahead and shoot those in the chat on YouTube and we'll shoot those over to him. So Dave, how you been?
Hey, doing great. It's great to be back on with you guys. Missed your guys' smiling faces.
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah. It's been crazy busy since the games. And that's the last time we got to see you. We got to see you at the games. So what was your weekend like there?
You know what? That was super fun. I got to tell you, that was the first games that we attended in, I guess it would be 12 years, because we went to 10 games straight as a company, you know, and setting up in Vendor Village. Went to 10 straight, and then last year, 2020, obviously they didn't have a regular games, right? It was up at the ranch, which I got to go participate with that game. So it was fun to be there and help out and be a part of it. So that was 11 games straight. And then this year, our 12th games, my wife Susan and I went really just to be spectators and enjoy the show, which we've never been able to do in all, 11 previous years. So we got to really just soak it in and cheer for all of our friends competing and, hang out and socialize with you guys. And it was a really good time. We got to coach at the Fan Experience. We were asked to come in and coach some of the workouts at Fan Experience, and did some engagements with Fit Aid in their lounge as well. So did a little bit of that, but for the most part, just got to enjoy the week.
I know when we ran into you, you had lost your voice from doing some giveaways and some technique coaching and stuff like that. So glad that I hear you in full voice again.
Thanks. I know I always do that. I don't know what the deal is. My buddy Richwell says I don't talk from the diaphragm, so I need to work on that.
All right. So what do you guys have coming out? I know that we talked to Ashley Cutler last week. I know that she is now doing some live workouts for you guys, postnatal workouts for those moms out there. But she mentioned a couple of products that she has that she's been using in those features. So, and I know some of those are your new products. Do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, no, that's a super fun kind of serendipitous encounter there, because, I know Ashley and her husband, Justin, and we try and support their team and the Underdog Athletics group. They're just awesome people. And so I actually sent out some of our new products, like our inflatable jumping mat, the RX Air Mat, and then our new inflatable air box. I sent them out to Justin for his athletes to, practice on and test out and kind of get some feedback. And Ashley kind of intercepted, because they don't have their own gym yet. They're still in the process of opening up their own gym. So she intercepted some of those products and
I like how you say intercepted. She stole them. She took them. She commandeered them. She's like, I want them. I'm going to use them. Screw those underdogs.
Well, she was protecting them, right? So I appreciate that. She said, I just didn't want anybody to go out there and start using them, and beating them up.
Right.
And stuff.
She's keeping them safe for you,
which I appreciate. So she started using them at home for her pre and postnatal workouts. And I started seeing her posts, and she started tagging us, and she was just utilizing all of our gear really creatively for her workouts. And I just loved everything she was doing. And I didn't really know her background being pre and postnatal certified and, having a lot of experience in that area. And I love her little hashtag or saying, once postpartum, always postpartum, that's so true. And so, so we got in touch and basically begged her to come and do our Friday workouts. We have another gentleman named David Freeman, who is a national trainer for Lifetime Fitness and just a super great guy. He does a lot of online training for Men's Health magazine online. And so he does every other Friday, he'll do a Freezy. His nickname's Freezy, David Freeman. So he'll do a Friday workout for us, for our audience. And so we were lucky enough to bring Ashley on and get her to do the alternate Fridays, which I think is just such a super cool mix up of, just different focuses and different ways to train. And Ashley really loves using the air box and the air mats when she's doing a lot of her exercises. So it's just a natural fit. And yeah, we're loving it. She's awesome.
Yeah, I love the way she uses the air box in so many different ways that you wouldn't even think of using a conventional box in those ways. So your air box breaks down into how many different increments? Because I know it's a lot.
Well, it's four panels. Two of the panels are 8 inches and the other two are 4 inches tall. So when they're all, they're connected by Velcro. So when they're all stacked together, we have a top end height of 24 inches. But, if you strip it down, it basically has 6 heights, just every 4-inch increments, right? 4, 8, 12, and so on up to 24. So, so that's a nice thing, is that you can break it apart and use it in multiple places during one workout, which is kind of nice. It gives a lot of versatility to the old-fashioned box.
So when you first came on and talked about, sorry, Kat, go ahead.
No, you're good.
When you first came on and talked about the air box, in your mind, you're thinking of this like blow up apparatus and how can it really be solid? But when you see people using them and they're landing on the top, you get that really solid feeling or sound from the air box. And how I know you can't give away secrets, but how long did it take you to develop that so that you get that solid box feel?
You know what? So the funny thing is we literally made 2 prototypes, and the second prototype was the final version. The first prototype, I tried to mimic your typical wooden boxes, right? You have the three different heights of a regular wooden box. And when you take that wooden box and you lay it down onto its, a 20 inch height, that box is 30 inches wide by 24 inches deep, right? And 20 inches high. So the first box we made, we still had the 4 different panels that Velcro together, and we made it those dimensions. We made it basically 24 high, but 30 wide and 24 in depth. And it was just too unstable. I was trying to make it mimic a regular wooden box, so that with thought of, hey, if a gym owner bought these, he could stack them and they would, pretty much fit together like cubes, line up well. But it just wasn't stable enough, and I wasn't happy with that. And so I thought, you know what? Honestly, this product is really not intended for the gym owner. I just don't foresee a lot of gym owners buying a bunch of these and replacing their wooden boxes. Just economically doesn't make sense. I would love for gym owners to own at least one of them and have them in their gym, just because I know that every gym has a population of people who, need something a little bit more forgiving, right? Just something that in case they miss their jump and they bang into it, they don't beat themselves up. And some people just need to build confidence and get comfortable. And because it has so many different variations of height, it's just a great tool that a gym owner could mix in. But really, I thought this was a great tool for the home gym person, just because it does deflate and rolls up like a taco, and you can stick it in your closet or in the corner of your garage, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So it was really that versatility that I thought it was better suited for the home gym audience. So I thought, well, yeah, I don't need to make it stack up with regular wooden boxes. So we went ahead and pushed it out to 30 by 30, which makes a nice, pretty nice big, I'm actually sitting on one now, a nice big landing platform. It makes a nice seat too. So yeah, it makes a nice landing platform. And, the funny thing about it is because they're so light, they don't have weight holding them down. I think your initial impression when people jump on them is that it feels unstable. It can feel unstable just because it's so light. But as you jump, and also as you realize that it's kind of incentivizing you to kind of jump and land nice and solid, right? Nice and square. I think it's fabulous. It works fantastic without anchors. But if you wanted to anchor some weights to the side and give it a little bit of heft, you can do that too to build up a little more confidence.
You've pretty much thought of everything.
Oh, I don't, I honestly, Ashley thought of everything, right? Like, I didn't tell you that after I reached out to Ashley and said, hey, I love everything you're doing, the way you're using the Airbox. She emailed me a huge list of all these different exercises. I didn't even know what some of them were. Like I'd have to ask her, what is that? What is this? But a whole list of exercises to do, on the Airbox. So yeah, so we haven't thought of everything, but we're getting help from friends.
That's the key, right? Have enough friends to have all those thoughts and ideas.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So something else that just came out, I know, is your new jump rope, the EVO FRE. When you first handed me one, I didn't know if it was free or fire. I think both actually fit. But I think you guys went with free, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way we pronounce it. And I like that you said fire. I didn't even, honestly, never even thought about that. We might have to use that in some of our promotions, and we'll give you credit for that. EVO Fire. Funny joke though, when I sent one to Jamie Hagia, who's like my little sister. She's a great friend, and she got it, and she messaged me, and in all sincerity, she said, Dave, I love this rope, but she goes, how do you pronounce it? Is it FRE? EVO FRE? So whenever we talk to each other, we, and she spelled it FREH, like meh, FRE. Yeah. So that's what we call it when we talk to each other.
So it's very similar to your EVO rope, but much lighter. And do you want to explain what you've done there to make that have the impact it's had?
Yeah, you know what? That one, it's a really high quality, durable plastic, right? So we call it a polymer, and it's it's just we realized that we could make it much more affordably and consequently sell it, make it much more affordable to the marketplace by doing it that way. And when we made the original EVO, honestly, we never even planned on putting that on the market to begin with. We built it for our competitive athletes, and we knew it was going to be too, we thought too expensive for the marketplace. And we thought people would really, kind of shy away because of the price. And we were just surprised that, so many people that got a chance to try one, they would try one of the athletes' ropes that we sent out, and then they would reach out like, how do we get one? I want one. And we told them, we said, well, unfortunately, they're probably too expensive. We don't care how much, we want one. So we figured out, the best price we could to get those on the market. But, that was the first speed rope. As far as I know, the first speed rope on the planet that was upwards of over $100, right? Like we put it on the market for 125, and then the latest version is at 150. And we honestly have a hard time keeping those in stock. Like that product does really well, and that we feel awesome about that. And that, not that there's honestly not a huge profit margin in that product for us, but we just love that people appreciate quality gear that much. But equally, we knew there was a large segment of the population out there that either just couldn't or wouldn't spend that much on a speed rope. So that was our goal for the last few years, is okay, how do we develop this into a more affordable product without giving up any of the performance level, and just really kind of keep that that high standard up there. And so, yeah, so this one took a little while for us to get it right and get it together. But we're super stoked with how it's turned out. And it's, you know, it's barely over half the price of our G2 Evo, which is our primary Evo rope. Barely over half the price. And the performance and quality level is really close, you know, to that. So we're pretty stoked with it, and people are responding really well to it.
Never underestimate the CrossFitters' need for merch.
Right. And their willingness to pay for it. I bought that Evo rope like as soon as I could 3 years ago or whenever, 4 years ago, whenever it came out.
Oh, did you? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I felt so fancy with the case and, you know, bringing it out of my bag, and people are like, oh, what's that? I'm like, it's $125 jump rope. They're like, are you crazy? Like, nope.
That's awesome.
I loved it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate
early adopter.
You are for sure. Yeah. Cause they came out in 2017 and well, we brought them out to our athletes in 2017. I can't remember when we actually made them available to the public, but yeah, you're one of the early ones. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. I remember when they first hit regionals, and the buzz around that jump rope was huge.
Yeah, it was. And you know, what was funny is we had a lot of athletes that, you know, we obviously sent them to all of our athletes, and we had a good handful of our athletes that didn't use them at regionals. And we asked them why afterwards. And they said, I needed more time to practice with it because it's too fast. Like, it comes around too fast. And I just wasn't used to that. And they wanted to be more, you know, sure about their double unders during the competition. So they used their original RX, which frankly is still what I use, honestly. Like, my go-to is just go back to, I just use the original with the heavier cable on it. And, you know, that's my kind of everyday go-to training rope. So.
Yeah. And we just gave away one of those last week to one of our lucky listeners as we hit another century mark on our way to 1,000.
Awesome. Congrats. Yeah. Let that winner know if they need a different size cable, they can just reach out to us and we can swap out their cable and get the right thickness and the right length for them on there.
Yeah. So they're the ones that they get the gift card, and they get to customize their own with you guys.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was the one that you guys were displaying at the games.
No, we've given those away, and those people were super happy.
Cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cool. Dave, I want to ask you real quick about Power Monky Camp, because I know, did you make it out there in September? Because I did not, obviously, and I'm planning on going next September. But were you there?
Oh, I'm there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes 16 straight. I've been to all 16 of them since day one. And yeah, it never gets old. It's a great week. You're gonna really. Were you trying to go to this one?
I was. It was sold out by the time I had gotten my act together.
Oh, I wish I'd known that, because they actually had a few spots open up, you know, late. Yeah, some spots opened up just because people had to push off. They had to push off because of just whatever, whether they got sick or had other things going on. So a few spots opened up, and we had a amazing week. The weather was phenomenal, which, you know, you get a mixed bag of weather. Doesn't matter which camp, either the April-May camp or the October camp. You know, sometimes you'll get a little mixture of some rain and some sunshine and, you know, all the above. And we had just, you know, 5 days straight of just blue skies and, nice. And yeah, it was super, super great camp. You're going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it. It's,
I can't wait. I'm thinking the end of September is probably better for me than the end of May, April, May. That's kind of like competition season, you know, with CrossFit and whatnot, and if we're covering it. So yeah, I'm definitely, as soon as tickets go on sale, I'm there. I'm not going to miss out this time.
Yeah. And next time, let me know, like if you have any issues. And also I can talk to the owners of the camp and see if we can maybe work on I'm bringing some clients with me too. I think we're going to make like a girls week. So it should be fun. Oh, cool. Very cool. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Well, reach out to me so I can help you coordinate, so we can make sure you guys all get in the same cabin together and group and stuff like that. Yeah. It'd be super fun. Good. Well, good. Yay. Hopefully we get Scott all healthy and ready to go and get him out there too.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my plan. My plan is by next year to be able to do things like that again, which I'm really looking forward to. My first goal is to do a triathlon next summer.
Nice.
Like a sprint triathlon, and then move into more CrossFit goals after that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's a great goal. Triathlons are tough, super tough.
Well, with my back, I have the bike down. I was a college swimmer, and I just have to figure out the run.
There you go. Go. Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, it's a sprint, right? So it's probably a 5K, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 5K. I've done
one foot in front of the other. You got that one.
That's it. One foot in front of the other. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I did one sprint try in my life and almost drowned because I'm just not a great swimmer. It was only a 400-meter swim. You too, huh?
Yeah, that would be me. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I got really bad advice. So Scott, if you've never done one, I'll tell you my advice. Although you're a collegiate swimmer, so you won't have the same problem. I'm not a great swimmer. And when I got there, I asked several people like, hey, how should I approach this? It's my first one. And I'm asking fellow competitors. And at the time I was in the 40 to 49-year-old bracket, which was a really competitive field because those guys have been doing it for a long time. And, the first guy I asked said, hey, your first time, just stay at the back of the pack, let all the fast people go ahead of you. And then, just swim your race. And I said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That's what I'll do. And I made the mistake of getting a second opinion. And the next guy I asked said, oh man, the first time I ever did one of these, the guys that were in front of me kicked me in the nose on accident, right? But kicked me in the nose and knocked my goggles off. And, it was just really a mess. So he said, I would go to the front of the pack and let all the fast people swim around you. And like a moron, I thought, that's a better idea. That's what I'm going to do. So, our swimming start was, we had to wade out we were in like a boat ramp at the bay. And so I got out in front of everybody and I looked back and I just see a sea of swim caps. We were all wearing the same color, I think orange swim caps to denote our age, but just a sea of orange swim caps. And as soon as they shot the gun, I just freaked out and just started paddling as fast as I could. And just within 10 yards, like gasping for air, people were running over me, knocking me. It was the worst experience ever, man. So that won't happen to you.
So to get ready for swim season, we used to play water polo. And, you learn how to swim over people, not around.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in those mass starts is those guys that can swim, they use that water polo technique to go up over people.
Yep. I felt it. I know the feeling. I felt like a barge. I was a dock and they were all just, running right over the top.
Oh yeah. Goodness.
Water polo is tough. That's awesome. You'll do great. I can't wait to hear how that goes.
So do you guys have anything new coming out or that you can tell us about, or anything going on happening soon?
Yeah, well, let's see. So next week, we're going to be helping out with Bethany Hamilton's foundation. So if you're familiar with Bethany Hamilton, she was the Soul Surfer, right? They made the movie with Dennis Quaid about the girl whose arm got bitten off by a shark in Kauai. And she went on to become a professional surfer and just an amazing stud. I mean, she just had a baby not too long ago. So her third wow. son.
I feel old.
Right. She was 14, I think, when that happened. And now she's this beautiful grown woman with beautiful family. So, her foundation, Bethany Hamilton, Friends of Bethany Hamilton, is based on the island of Kauai, where she lives. And, but she holds a retreat every year. And it's held in Del Mar, which is super fortunate for us because that's where we live. I mean, that's our backyard. So, and in this retreat, she invites, I think on average of 20 young ladies between the ages of 15 and 25 from all over the world. She takes applications and they try and, select and bring in about 20 young ladies. And these are all young ladies that have, lost a limb, traumatically, either due to some type of congenital situation or a tragic accident that caused them to lose a limb or multiple. And so, she brings them all together, in a house in Del Mar. And they just do a lot of bonding and a lot of healing and a lot of sharing. And it's just such a really healthy environment. Because she's a pro surfer, one of the big events is getting them out on surfboards. So we have just a big army of volunteers come out. There's a couple of surfboard schools that donate wetsuits and surfboards, and just an army of volunteers come out, and we get these kids just suited up and get them out into the waves. And we're just pushing them off into a wave and letting them try and stand up and stuff. And it's an amazing feeling for all of us. I mean, for them, because they're conquering a challenge. And some of these kids that we've had, I mean, some were missing arms, so they can't, they can't paddle. I mean, I was fearful at first, like, oh my gosh, I don't think this person can like swim and float themselves if they had to. And these kids were just bombing it. They didn't even blink an eye. They were just gung ho. And once they took the fear out of us, because they're like, let's go. And so it's pretty amazing. So we have a big surf day with them, which is just super fun. And then they do fitness throughout the week, but they bring us in for their big fitness day because we developed a mono rope for adaptive athletes. And I also will make, I have this other type of jump rope I'll make for people who have they might just be missing part of their limb, but if they have a good portion of their limb, then we can strap a jump rope to it, right? So I have this contraption that I build a bunch of variations of, so that everybody can just try something different and figure out what works for them, but just so they can experience, exercise and fitness and still jump rope or do a variation of jump rope. So that's another big day. And then we have a big banquet, and they do a big photo shoot. All the girls I keep saying all the girls, but this camp is actually going to be a co-ed. So they had their first male retreat last year, and they held that on Kauai. This year, they're holding their first co-ed retreat. So it'll be about, I think, 10 guys and about 20 gals that are all, pulled together. And so that's a really fun way to kind of end out the year for us, participating in that. We've done it for the last few years, and just, we're a sponsor of that foundation. And so we love supporting them. The Ultimate Trail Run is the other foundation that we're a big supporter and sponsor of. And that was a huge success. They finally did it in person in September. And so that went off really, really well. So super stoked for that. But so that's a big event. As far as products, we do have another jump rope coming out. Ironically enough, you would think we're a jump rope company or something. We keep making jump ropes, but we're going to be bringing out a real freestyle, kind of a kickback to the old school, but a new freestyle jump rope that's going to come with a few different variations of cord, like the old beaded jump ropes, which I've been using. Actually, that's one of just because we have a bunch of our samples in house, so I've been using those for the last several months. And with the beaded cord and just a straight licorice cord that doesn't have any wire in it. It's just all kind of a, gummy licorice PVC cord. Those are much more forgiving to practice, just different style of jumping. Besides CrossFit, we just do straightforward singles, doubles, triples. And so cable is the best cord for that. But when you want to start doing boxer style, like crosses and side swings and different kind of, like Floyd Mayweather stuff, beaded and PVC cord are much better, much more suited for those, and they don't hurt as bad when you miss. So we have our first version of that out, and of course we're always trying to like raise the level and up the ante. So we have some features with this rope that we are first of its kind on the market for that type of rope. So we're pretty excited about that one. Hopefully we'll see that out. We're shooting for by the end of the year, but with all the shipping delays going on, and material and supply shortages, it's made things a little bit tougher, but we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, yeah. I love your innovation is just outstanding. I love that you're always trying to, come up with new ideas and thinking about not just gym owners, but other sports and people with their garage gyms and trying to keep fit. And what I love the most about you guys is just your philanthropy. You guys are always like reaching out and helping. And I think that's unique in this ecosystem here. And just all the respect and love to you guys for hanging in there and helping people out. It's like makes me all warm and fuzzy inside.
Well, I appreciate it. You're already warm and fuzzy, Kat, but I appreciate that.
Well, this is warm and fuzzy, yes.
Well, you know what? Part of it is being selfish, right? Like, honestly, it's a little selfish on our part just because it makes us feel so good doing things for others and trying to help out and make an impact where we can. Yeah, it's great that, other people are getting some help and benefit, but on a very selfish note, it makes us feel good, so we keep doing what makes us feel good. Right. So it goes both ways. I mean, it really is awesome. So thank you for that though.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty stoked for that jelly rope because that takes me back to my swimmer days, because we did we did that kind of jump rope, like a boxing style jump rope for conditioning and swimming, with all the leg work that we do, swimming, kicking and pushing off the wall and stuff like that. So I try crisscross applesauce with the regular RX jump rope, and it does hurt when you miss.
That hurts. Yeah. You're not lying. Well, I'll send you one. I have, we brought in our first, bulk of samples, or not samples. It's actually the finished product, but we had a certain number sent out to us so that we could start, we want to keep testing them and send them out to our ambassadors and different folks to test out and, start doing reviews and things like that for us. So I'll get one out to you. And I need to get an air mat out to you too, Scott, especially you're going to have that back procedure and you need to probably have something a little bit more cushion to get you initially jumping. So I think an air mat would be awesome for you.
It would. I've had it on my wish list for a while now.
Yeah. Well, your wish is coming true. I'm going to get that put together and we'll get that out to you.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want to keep your progress going, man. You're killing it and you're inspiring to all of us. So we want to keep that train going.
Well, thanks, Dave. Thanks for jumping on with us. We'll definitely, for our listeners out there who are live with us, we're going to have Dave on again next month. And we'll see where everything is on the shipping details of that jelly rope and anything else that they've come up with in the next 30 days, because he always seems to have something new on the horizon.
Oh, I don't know. We'll try, but I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
All right. Be well, guys.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
All right.
He's the best.
He is. Such a good guy. I'm so glad that the first year we were with RX, well, we're just coming up on a year, or we just passed a year. The first, half of that, we never met them in person.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't until kind of the pandemic kind of seeded and we were able to meet them at some different events, and always a joy to have coffee with and chat and do things with. So
they're great people.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So what's up?
Not much. Just getting ready to do that back procedure on Thursday. Yeah.
So is this a repeat of the other two?
It's a different version.
Okay.
This is they're going to burn the nerve. What I don't know is they have to do a test first. They have to do a nerve block to see if it'll work. And then if it works, then they'll do the burn the nerve. I don't know if it's all in the same day or if I do the test and I have to come back.
Got it. Well, I'd imagine to burn the nerve, they probably have to do a nerve block anyway, so that you don't feel the pain of the burning of the nerve. So hopefully it's the same day. It's like,
yeah. And actually I had said last week that things are a lot better now honestly, they're better than they've been in almost a year. But I don't want to go back to then deadlifting and boom, I'm back to where I was. I'm just going to get it done.
I agree.
Because I was debating last week, should I even have this part done? But I need to get it fixed so that I'm not keep going up and down, up and down, up and down through this process.
Yeah. And it's not super invasive. It's something they do a million times a month or whatever. So yeah, I vote for that as well. Good stuff.
Good. How you been?
Good. Working out a little bit more than normal, which is good. I feel good. My son came home.
I saw
yesterday. Was yesterday Monday? Yes.
And it was a surprise.
I knew, Chris knew, his sister didn't know. So we were just surprising her. he was supposed to surprise me, but I got so mad at him for breaking his phone and telling him how much money he was costing me that he was like, well, I'm going to give you some good news. I'm like, what's that? He's like, I'm coming home next week. And I'm like, he's like, it was supposed to be a surprise, but I thought it'd make you feel better. So he knows exactly how to work me. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I came home yesterday. He came home and slept for like 3 hours while I did his laundry. And then he had dinner with the family, watched a movie with Chris, went to bed at 9:00 last night. I'm pretty sure he pulled an all-nighter Sunday night, which is why he slept all day yesterday. This morning, I woke him up at 10. We went to Costco. We went to Lululemon. We went to Best Buy. We went to Trader Joe's. We did all these errands. And at 12:30, he came home and took another nap. It's pretty much just like when he used to live here. And he saw his sister come home from school, and then he met a friend for lunch, and then he drove back to school. So it was a very quick trip. But he played baseball this weekend. He had a great outing on the mound. His first, college debut, which was awesome. He said he had so much fun. And they played a big inter-squad series this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Chris and I are going down Friday afternoon, staying over Friday night. We're going to see him. We're going to see the team play Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. Hopefully one of those 2 days he pitches and he doesn't pitch on Thursday, the day we can't go and watch.
Okay. That sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. My daughter came home. There was a little bit of drama, roommate drama, as happens with college kids. And so she came home this weekend, but she had to go back because, and I'm so proud of her, she's starting to do photography. So she had a photo shoot where she was doing family photos for
nice.
A couple that just had a baby. And so she was doing photos for them. She has to come back up to Columbus this weekend because she's doing senior pictures for somebody. So she's starting to really get into that where people are hiring her to do what she wants to do for the rest of her life.
So cool.
And she's only a junior. So the fact that she's starting to roll in that already I'm pretty proud of her for moving in that direction.
Very cool. That's super cool. I have a response for my letter of intent on one of my buildings. And I have to go back and look at the area, look at the place, like take some measurements and make sure whatever, because the next move would be to move forward with the lease. So I need to go back and look at it again and just make sure I know what I'm doing and like crunch some numbers and take a deep breath and realize what this will mean. Because I'm very excited about it, but honestly, part of me is a little concerned about the lack of freedom I'm going to have after this happens. Right. I mean, I'm going to be like chained to my gym. I don't know that I'm going to be able to take, a week and a half off to go to Wadapalooza and do all these events and things that I have planned that I really, really want to do. So I have to sort of consider that and figure out.
Because you're going to be pretty much not like starting from scratch, but starting in a place where you're the only coach.
Right.
You're the, and the only way to be open is for you to be there.
Right.
Until you can build the clientele to a point where you can hire people on. I get it. I understand.
Yeah. So it just, it makes me nervous. But, intellectually, I know I can make it happen and, perhaps do it quickly. I worry a little bit about the time of year, like the end of the year is like the worst time for fitness and people aren't usually like joining gyms in November, December. It's usually, January, February. So lots of things to think about. And, I'm not stressed out at all about it. Just sitting here twirling my hair. So we'll see more to come on that. We'll see what happens, but I'm like low key super excited, but trying to not get overly ahead of myself.
Yeah, I did want to talk a little bit about some CrossFit news before we
please
take up, because did you see where they reported, Morning Chalk Up reported that over 500 affiliates have come back to CrossFit?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start to what had happened with the Glassman issue. I thought that was pretty cool. And
did you see that there's like this affiliate network now? So with all these discounts, Yeah. And things, which kind of has me jazzed. And I think Rogue's even one of the partners. So
yeah,
giddy
they
up.
have 20 national partners already with more to come. And it includes like Fit Aid, Rogue, Whoop. Yeah, they're not like small companies.
Yeah.
Bear Complex.
Push Press, Sugar Wad.
Yeah, Beyond the Whiteboard. Yeah, a lot of them. So that's pretty awesome. And it's designed to make affiliates more money.
Right.
The more that people purchase through the network, the more that the affiliates will make.
Yeah. And really, this is brand new affiliate stuff. I mean, this is closer to like a licensing model than it is to an affiliate model in terms of the support that we're getting from CrossFit. And even though I think a lot of people that pay their affiliate fee expect a lot more, I do not. I understand the value of that money that's every year for the name. But there are other people that sort of want the franchise benefits without the franchise rules. And so this is an interesting hybrid where, they're really taking it to the next level and showing a lot of support for affiliates. And I love it. I mean, it's good for them. It's good for us. And, hopefully this isn't the beginning of a licensing model that becomes really strict and stringent and more expensive. But I guess, we'll see. I'm liking it so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty excited about that. Because some of it was going to go even down to coach level for some of the discounts and stuff, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to be a coach at CrossFit Clarity.
There you go. I love it. And so Madrid Championship happened this weekend.
Okay. I totally missed it. I had some family obligations I had to deal with this weekend. Yeah,
that's okay. It wasn't really, you couldn't watch it anywhere. So I didn't get to watch it either. I just sort of followed on Instagram, but Roman Krenikov won by like 150 points or something like that. Don't quote me on the number, but a massive, huge win. And
he's becoming the Matt Fraser of Europe.
I know. He needs to get to the US. We need to figure out a way to get him here because I really want to see, what he does on American soil with some of these events that are happening here. What's interesting to me is that there are several athletes who competed at the Madrid CrossFit Championship that are going to Rogue. Recovery, not.
Wow.
Jacqueline, our girl, Jacqueline Dahlstrom, she's going. There's probably a handful more. I don't have anything written down or prepared to talk about it. So if anyone's listening knows, they can chime in. But, we talked about people doing Rogue and Dubai and Wodapalooza. Well, how about people doing Madrid and Rogue back to back, and Zelos games and whatever else is going on with qualifiers and whatnot. So I just thought that was interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes.
Speaking of Wodapalooza, what do you think? I think I'll give you my opinion first. The 3-person team coming back, 3-person same-sex team.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have signed up for that because that was like the fun event for everybody to like hang out with their friends every year.
Yep.
Right. And so you got like some of the biggest names in the sport doing that 3-person team, and we have it back. Right. And who signed up? Rich Froning.
Rich Froning. Yep. And he's with
Luke
what?
Parker, Angelo DeChico and Luke Parker and him are doing a 3-person team.
It's super cool because it's like a win-win when you think about it. So the event gets a lot of publicity, which means that more people are going to either want to participate, volunteer, or show up. So it's ticket sales, it's, hands up, feet on the ground helping, or it's more athletes registering. So it's money in their pocket. It's great for the sport, and the athletes can just come and have fun. It's not like they're tuning up for any big thing, but they still get to go and enjoy the festival scene and have, a great time and see their friends and hang out and do fitness. So yeah, super cool, because this isn't like a qualifier to the games anymore. This is just go and either as an elite athlete, you're tuning up your game, or you're just being seen and your sponsors are happy because you're out there, FaceTime with fans or whatever. Yeah, I think it's great. Good for them.
And now I know that Wodapalooza has announced that they're not going to have a pay for service for streaming the event this year. So you'll be able to watch it. Hopefully it'll be better quality. than it's been in the past.
Yeah, but that's really expensive too. So I really appreciate the effort that they're making to do that. And I'm sure, everything they're doing has that in mind, all the decisions that they're making up until now. I think it's awesome.
It's funny. I was talking to Cheryl about it, and she's from Florida. Like for the Floridians, like Wadapalooza is like as big as the games. That has been their event this will be 10 years. That has been their event for 10 years. They love that event. Most Floridians will not miss that event because it's their homegrown kind of thing. And it was interesting getting her perspective on that, growing up in the sport in Florida with that, as opposed to like being up here in the Midwest, not really understanding. We know it's big. I just didn't understand it at that level.
Yeah. And you've never been, have you?
I've never been.
Yeah, me neither. We are popping our cherries in January.
Yeah. We got a lot in January.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I've got MacFest coming up in a couple weeks. So that's the second week in November. Second week in November.
And I got Rogue next week.
You got Rogue next week. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait to watch. I'm going to just be glued to the computer.
Yeah, I got my media email yesterday.
Oh, good.
And they haven't assigned us what we're doing yet. But I'm like, what is it going to be? Who am I going to be?
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, did I tell you? I don't know if I told you, but I got asked to judge by Charlotte finally, like after all this time, and I'm like, oh, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
that was a really hard thing to not do.
Yeah, we got in that email. They said they needed like a handful of media people early to do some pre-interviews with the athletes.
Oh, cool. You're like,
but it's the morning of my flight.
Oh crap.
And so there was no way.
Wednesday morning or Thursday morning?
Yeah, Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. Yeah. Boo. Oh, I'm doing a podcast next week. Plate Stack Chat.
Okay. Yeah.
They're across the pond.
Yep.
Bunch of guys, and they talk about a bunch of fun stuff. We're going to do a Rogue Invitational preview. So I've got to brush up on who's going and what's happening and all that. But I'm going to, I guess, give my 2 cents and play along with the boys. So it should be fun conversation.
Yeah, be careful what you say on those. I did the games preview, and that's where I said that Justin Medeiros didn't have the strength to be a champion.
Right. Well, we'll see. I'll stand by any remarks I make. They'll all be very educated guesses.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
At least I'm known for something, right?
Exactly. All right. You want to get into questions? We are going long here.
Yeah, sure.
We're almost an hour, and I got to coach in a little bit. Okay. What is your guilty pleasure song? So not your favorite song, not your PR song.
I know.
Guilty pleasure, like in the shower, nobody's listening, or you're like on a road trip by yourself and you just want to wail in the car.
So my wail in the car guilty pleasure is anything Nick Jonas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Levels. Yeah. And then I love Cher. So Believe was my guilty pleasure song for a very, very long time.
Okay.
But I like any kind of Cher. Any Cher will do.
Yeah.
We All Sleep Alone, Turn Back Time, any of those.
Well, I'm going to go Taylor Swift. Bad Blood. It's actually my ringtone on my phone for anybody that calls, not just my enemies or my frenemies. But there's a mix that she does with a rapper whose name I'm not going to remember. And that's the version of it that I like, because he goes off into all these riffs and I can like say them all and I sound crazy and silly, but yeah, Tay.
Awesome.
Can't lie.
Saw her in concert.
Right. I saw her in concert.
I did too.
Yeah, I took L's. That was fun. Although I'll tell you what, real quick. Didn't like her, liked her, went, saw the concert. She did this thing during the concert where she had like complete control over the crowd, right? Like everyone was screaming and doing whatever. And she would like put her hand up to like stop this side of the room from like saying anything. And then she put this hand up and stopped this hand. And so everybody was silent. And then she did like this little, like to this side, and everybody went crazy. And then she had this little smirk and she's like, and all this side went crazy. And I was like, oh dear God, I can't even right now. Like the ego that she was showing during all that I lost a lot of respect for her at that point in time. But I'm back to liking her again because I saw like her documentary and she's an amazing songwriter. But yeah, that kind of like left a weird taste in my mouth. I don't like people like that are like, I'm in such in control that, ugh.
Wow, you read a lot into that, but okay.
I did. Yeah. Well, that's what I do. I overanalyze everything. So that's my job. Yeah. And to judge based on it. All right. Question number 2, real quick. Hot chocolate or hot cider?
Hot chocolate. Bar none.
Yeah. Same. I think there are going to be some odd balls out there that like the hot cider. Eliana, my daughter, is a big hot cider fan.
My wife is a hot cider fan.
Yeah, and we have it for our Keurig, actually. You can put it through the little machine.
I like cider. Like I like fresh cider.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, we used to go camping at this campground that would bring in all the apples and they put them through the press and like
cool.
Actually hand you like like glasses right out of the pressed apples.
Oh, wow.
And it was awesome. I love it, but heat it up. Ugh.
Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I'm getting a taste for it now. Maybe I'll have some later in a Keurig because I'm sure I have a bunch of the little things, the K-cups of it because no one drinks it.
Yeah. So cool. Episodes we have coming out. We have Thursday release, I believe, is Burn.
Yes. Burn Prince.
Burn Prince. Man, what a talk. You know, we talk about being a Black man as an OG CrossFitter and what that was like, what that felt like, and what he has done in reaction to the comments of Greg Glassman and what he is trying to create. And I think it's a pretty good episode. It definitely pushed me to be a better journalist as what I'm trying to be, because I had to ask questions that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. Mm-hmm. Once I did it, I understood why I need to do it and why it gets the answer, and then why you can keep moving forward. So it was a great interview for me to do. Cool. I'll say that.
Good. Send it to me so I can see it.
Okay. And the only thing is it's like a Matt Chan because he's live at a Starbucks. His gym Wi-Fi was not good. So he ran across the street to a Starbucks so we could at least get the interview done, but super cool.
Does that mean I'm going to have to edit a lot of it? Is that what you're telling me? Or no?
There's just a long intro part.
Okay.
And then I can even edit it because it's really just cutting the front off.
No, it's okay. I can't wait to hear it. And that's Thursday. And then Monday, we release 3 of the Brute. We're calling them kids. They're not really kids. They're young adults. They're phenoms. They're up and comers. Dallin Pepper, James Sprague, and Emma Carey, along with Matt Torres, their coach. And we talk about their move to Naples that is coming up in 2022 and a lot of other fun stuff. And we got to get James on by himself and we got to get Dallin on by himself because those two have a lot to say too. James has got more energy than anyone. And Dallin's just kind of a badass.
Yeah, James has a ton to say and we need to get Dallin by himself so we can hear what Dallin has to say.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but hopefully that becomes like a little bit of a series. We follow these kids, I have to stop saying kids, these athletes through their season and see how they're doing because I have a feeling we will be talking to them for a very long time in the sport.
Yeah. And we're hoping to do an interview with them after every segment of the season, starting with Wodapalooza. I think they're all doing Wodapalooza.
Yep.
And then we'll talk to them then. And then after the open, after the quarters, set the semis, and then the games, hopefully.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
I do have one good thing from the internet I did want to share this week.
Please do
something awesome. And it is, I'm not always enamored with Sevan stuff now these days, but his interview with Steffi Cohen is really freaking good. If you don't know who Steffi Cohen is, she is a world record holding power lifter and now boxer. And she was on the undercard of the Josh Bridges, Jacob Hepner fight. And her family left Nazi Germany as Jewish people and fled to Israel, and then moved to Argentina where her grandmother became a teacher. And then she fled Argentina to the United States for better opportunities on her own as a teenager.
Yeah. Like all by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she actually said something too that I think Sevan actually wrote it down. She was very prophetic. She said something about her life and like the meaning of what she's doing. And I think it was like, she didn't label herself as an athlete, but like she was doing things that led her down a path of something that was super profound. And he's like, I think you just like told me what I need to be doing in my life, in that way. It was really cool. Yeah, I agree.
She's so stinking smart that she actually, I felt, had Sevan off guard. Mm-hmm. Like Sevan couldn't be his full Sevan because of her intelligent remarks.
Yeah, and she was great. Actually, it was a great interview.
And actually leveled him up. Then he talked about, how the boom in science with all the Jewish people in Germany 5 years before Hitler came to reign, and Hitler disposing of many of those great scientists who just because they were Jewish.
Right.
And I just love when smart people are talking in a smart way.
You like smart people like me. Yeah. I like smart people.
So I was totally fascinated during that whole thing. Cool. Loved it. Awesome. Do you have anything this week?
No, but a bunch of stupid TikTok stuff. I've been in TikTok black holes when I have 10 minutes to myself for whatever reason. So nothing crazy. Lots of dogs. I still have not filmed my first cheating on my dog episode because I need a camera person. I can't do it myself. So if anyone would like to apply for that job, it doesn't pay anything but, JoJo kisses, and I'll feed you some hot chocolate or hot cider. But yeah, I need
free
help
rig
with that.
access.
Yes.
In the 10 minutes between classes.
You got it. Open gym.
There you go. All right. Well, it's been fun. We didn't get any comments this week.
It's a slow night. No worries.
Yeah. But we'll be back next week at 6:00, one day before I head off to Rogue. And so we'll probably talk pretty heavily about what's going to happen at Rogue. And then we'll recap it the week after.
Sounds good.
So we'll see you next